Hi guys, I'm just going to do this quick video to talk to you a little bit about how you might view comments on your Schoology submissions. We had a lot of kids last year tell us that they weren't always sure where to look for different kinds of comments. And so I'm going to look at a last year's students' submission so that we can talk through where you would look for comments and why, because it can be confusing. There are about 4 different ways that you can receive comments on a submission, and that depends on how your teacher sets it up, but really 4 places you might need to look. But as a team, we've agreed that we're going to use those 4 things for different reasons, and so you can base what you're looking for where you should look. And so number 1, if you're turning in an assignment that you're expecting to get editing marks or very specific information about what you wrote or what you submitted, meaning like I'm gonna mark a run on, or I might want to tell this person, hey, you could have a better title. I can put that right on their actual paper in a note. I can use this to draw or circle or underline. I'm not using my stylus, so it's a little painful. So I might say that. That will be there. I could do all of those things here. I can highlight text that maybe if it didn't make sense to me, I can make a highlight for that. So all of those things, if it's very specific detailed, so if you wrote an essay, if you did a digital project, you might find very specific comments or questions right on the document this way. Now, after I did that, or maybe instead of doing that, maybe this is only something that was 5 points instead of 25 points. So maybe I would give this person, if this was only 5, maybe I would only give them an overall comment here. Maybe this was like if the student wrote a quick response or completed a worksheet or something like that, I might say like, didn't complete number 4, or awesome work, or something like that. Whatever I put in here is my overall comment about the overall piece that you turned in, and it might reflect something about why your grade is what it is. So if I have a 25 out of 25 here or something like that, or a 5 out of 5, I might just say, this was amazing, do you mind if I post it, or something like that. Whatever I put in this box shows up on the Schoology gradebook and on the Infinite Campus gradebook. So this is more of an overall summative comment. And I would click Show to Students so that you can see it. Now, there are 2 other ways that I can comment. One of them only applies if I have a rubric. So if I have a rubric like I do here, and I say, all right, that's what the grade is based on what the criteria of the rubric is. Obviously, it doesn't usually go that quickly when I grade, but this was from last year, so I already know what the student's grade was. When I have that, I can then have individual comments for each of the categories. So you can look back at the rubric, and you might see if I have a comment there. So let's give her a comment because I only gave her. Sometimes when I do rubrics, if you get all the points, I won't comment on it because there's really not a whole lot to say unless it was above and beyond. So like for documentation citation, if you got 3 out of 3 for that, I'm not gonna say like, great documentation citation, probably. But if there's one that's more of a creative, then I might give you a comment even if you got a 3 out of 3, because a creative element is something personalized to you, and I want to comment on something that you really, put yourself into. But I like to comment. Sometimes if I take off a point or 2, I won't comment as to why, because you should really be able to figure that out based on my description. But usually if I take off more than a point or 2, I'll say why. So for this one, maybe, so it says, focused discussion and content communicates key ideas, themes, and findings. So maybe I would say something like, unclear in your second point. And so that comment, you'll see once I have that comment there, now that little thought bubble stays highlighted, and that lets you know that you have a comment there. And when you view it, I actually think it comes up the text there right next to it. So I'm going to just take that out because I didn't actually say that. Okay, so that's 3 of the 4 ways that you can see comments. The last way that you can see comments is in this revision submission. And this looks very similar to you on the iPad as well, I believe. I don't use this often unless I'm commenting about the difference in your submissions, in your drafts. So let's say that this student turned in her first draft and then she turns in her second draft. And I want to say something about, you know what, maybe I had given her comments after her first draft, which I actually think I did for this student, and she fixed that. I might say over here, great job fixing my comments, you know, fixing your run-ons, but I am still noticing issues with focus. And that's why she lost points there. So I might say something about just about the difference in drafts, but if there's only one draft, it's very unlikely that I would give a submission comment over here. How you receive these submission comments, you can go back into the document and look at it specifically, but you can also get a notification sent to you when you receive one of these, because otherwise you really do have to look for these. And if a teacher is marking these in here, there's a good possibility that you won't notice it. So if you're someone who wants to get a notification when you get one of those submissions for comments, for those revision submissions, those notifications for that, you should, here's how you do that. You're going to go to your name. You're going to go down to settings. You're going to see these here. You're going to go to notifications. You're going to see all your choices for notifications. Though this one is under academic, assignment submissions, and you're going to turn that on. And then if anytime somebody gives you a comment on your assignment submission itself, you would get a message in your email for that. Okay, I'm going to turn mine back off. So let's talk about why I might want that turned on. The reason I might want that turned on is if I notice that I don't have a grade for something. If I notice that it's been like a couple days and I turned in something and I still don't have a grade and I feel like maybe something was wrong with it. If I as the teacher can't give you a grade for something, I might send you a submission comment that says, hi, you didn't follow the directions. Please resubmit. Now, sometimes if I see that you haven't noticed that, I will give you a 0 too. And the only reason I'll give you a 0 is to draw your attention to that in the grade book, because sometimes I notice that kids only check what's in Infinite Campus. That shouldn't be the case, but sometimes I notice, and then the 0 gets your attention. Almost every single time, I would say 95% of the time, you can always resubmit and change that 0. The only time you can't is if we did something together in class on Zoom or something, and it had to be done as a group, or you had to respond to someone else and there's no way to recreate that now. So if it's something like this where you just didn't follow the directions, you can totally resubmit, but I'll just give you that 0 so that you can see that I know you're going to notice, hey, why did I get that 0? If you see that 0, or if you go for a while and you don't see a grade, you really should check your submission comments to see what's going on with that. And that goes for all of the teachers on our team. So if you get a 0, you need to check your submission comments. And I would definitely turn on your notifications for that, because I really only send a submission comment when something is kind of wrong with the draft or revision that you turned in. Okay guys, I hope that helps and makes sense. I'm sorry that this video was so long, but we really do get so many questions about where to look for comments that I wanted to be very thorough with you. If you still have any questions or if there's anything I forgot, please contact me via Schoology messages or via email, and I will do my best to get back to you and possibly add to this video. Thanks guys.